They stripped my wings in a room full of men who once called me brother. Then the Admiral's grandson walked in wearing my old flight patch and turned silence into thunder. My name is Lena Calder. I was a Coast Guard helicopter pilot stationed at Kodiak until one frozen night taught me that mercy can cost you everything, and truth can give it back. The storm hit without warning. 50-knot winds, visibility 0, rotors fighting wide out like they were cutting steel. Commander Hale's voice crackled over comms. Maintain vector. No deviations. Protocol was ironclad. Then, buried in static, a child's cry pierced the noise. Small, terrified, looping on emergency frequency. I glanced at the radar. A faint heat signature blinked where nothing should be. Hale barked again. Stay on course, Calder. My hands stayed steady on the cyclic, but my heart wasn't listening. I banked left into the blizzard. The landing was brutal. Skids sinking into drift, cabin shuddering. I found them in a half-collapsed fishing shack, a mother barely breathing, her 6-year-old son pressed against her, shivering so hard his teeth chattered. I stripped off my flight jacket, zipped him inside, my name tape against his cheek. You're safe now, kid. He clutched the collar like it was armor. Evac arrived 40 minutes later. I filed the debrief as equipment malfunction, no contact, no rescue. I lied to protect them from questions I couldn't answer. That night I sat in quarters staring at the empty hook where my jacket used to hang, telling myself one rule bend was worth a life. 48 hours later the whispers started. Hale in the ready room, some people think they're above the book. Laughter followed, sharp, careful. I smiled through it, but the air had already changed. A week later Admiral Nathan Gray walked the hangar line during snap inspection. When he reached me he stopped. Lieutenant Calder. His voice was quiet thunder. You pulled my daughter and grandson out of that storm. The hangar went dead silent. Ben still talks about the lady pilot who gave him her coat. I swallowed. Just doing the job, sir. He studied me a long moment. You did more than the job. By evening the rumor mill reversed, Calder's getting a commendation. Hale passed me in the corridor, jaw tight. Enjoy the spotlight. It burns out fast. It did. 2 days later my inbox held a priority review notice. Unauthorized course change, suspected falsified logs. Hale had already submitted the sanitized radar track. No beacon, clean vector. My access badge stopped working the next morning. I was grounded. Roster scrubbed. Mess hall conversations stopped when I entered. Hale briefed the wing. Deviation without justification endangers the unit. My old wingman avoided my eyes. Late one shift I slipped into ops. Logs showed Hale's credentials timestamped after my flight. Edits made. I copied what I could to a burner drive before the terminal locked me out. An anonymous text flashed once. They're burying the original feed. Terminal B, midnight. Midnight. Power cut mid-download. Footsteps retreated in the dark. I left with half a file, enough coordinates to prove the shack existed. The board convened in Anchorage. Hale sat composed, presenting evidence of misconduct. When my turn came I spoke once. I broke formation because a child was dying. I'd do it again. The presiding officer frowned. That's not an answer. Before he could continue the side door opened. Admiral Gray entered, trailed by a small boy in a too-big Coast Guard windbreaker, my old patch sewn crookedly on the sleeve. Ben walked straight to the table, placed a child's smartwatch beside the gavel. It has GPS, Gray said evenly. It logged the exact cabin position the night Lieutenant Calder found us. Cross-reference it. Forensic techs confirmed, original radar ping existed, then vanished under Hale's login 30 minutes later. Highly stood. Sir, this is tampering, Gray finished. Dismissed, Commander. The finding was swift. Charges dropped, record expunged, Hale relieved pending court-martial. Months later I received a handwritten note. Dinner. No uniforms. Grace signature. Their home overlooked Cook Inlet, windows full of midnight sun. Ben ran to me holding the jacket. Still too big, still patched. I fixed the zipper, he said proudly. So it stays warm forever. Gray poured coffee on the deck. Hale forgot the uniform means protecting people, not protecting power. I looked at Ben chasing gulls across the grass. Sometimes protecting one is enough. When I flew again the following spring, the sky felt wider. I keyed the mic on open frequency. To whoever's listening, keep your signal strong. The quiet ones carry farthest. No reply came. None was needed. The storm had passed. The truth simply stayed.